Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi guys, how are you? And how was your holiday?
Good, Miss.
Alhamdulillah, good miss.
So
Great.
I hope your holiday will bring a new and great spirit for us. And now, I would like to say thank you very much for this opportunity so I can explain to you my journal review with the title The Effect of Love from Teachers' Attitudes of Civil on Student Behaviors and Student Learning Outcomes in SMA Perintis 2 Bandar Lampung. So before I go to the next slide, I'd like to uh, tell myself. My name is Nurul Iza Fatima and I'm from Biology Education 2019 and my last three digit of NIM is 049. So let's go to the next slide. So what is the purpose of this journal? The purpose of this journal is to explain the effect of teachers' affction on attitudes, student behavior, and student learning outcomes at SMA Perintis 2 Bandar Lampung. So, this research is used 48 students in SMA Negeri Bandar Lampung as the sample. And the background of the problem is, the first is, teachers have a very important role in education. Why I say this? Because I can analogy that teachers is like a pillar in education. If the teacher is good, so the student will be so they are can bring a student to a good way, to a good future. But if the teachers is bad or not good, it's like impossible or have a little like they cannot bring the student to a bright future. So the second is docents' interaction without a good direction and supervision of the lack of affection have a negative tendency towards and adolescent association decrease in student learning outcomes. And the third is the roles, function, and responsibilities of civic teacher at every level of education, especially high school, are expected to make students be a good prospective citizens. So, there are five components that I'd like to explain to you about this journal. The first is the purpose. I have explained. And the second is literature review. The third is research methodology. The fourth is result. And the last is conclusion. So, as I explained, the purpose of this journal is conducted to determine whether there is influence of civic teacher compassionate attitudes towards student behavior and outcomes, student learning at SMA Perintis 2 Bandar Lampung or Perintis 2 Bandar Lampung High School. And the second is literature review. Behavior is defined as individual responses or reaction to environmental stimulus or change. And stimulus can change an individual's behavior, whether it is a response positive, which means doing what the negative stimulus or response is doing means that you understand but do not implement it. And behavior is usually formed through conditioning, insight, and model. The third is research methodology. This research is using quantitative method. So is use a like questionnaire and use three variables, that is manipulation, response, and control technique. And data collection through questionnaire, attitude scales, and tests. So the 48 students as the sample in SMA 2 Perintis Bandar Lampung is give a questionnaire, and they are doing an observe their attitude skills and give them a task. So the result, based on the result as questionnaire and what is that attitude skills and tasks have a result on indicators comfort is good enough, that is 58 and 24%, 25, I'm sorry, 25%. On indicators love is good, that is 68.74, 75%. On indicator attitude is very good, that is 81.25%. So uh, it can give us a imagine that love and affection is very give a positive impact to the attitude of adolescents. And the last is conclusion. There is an influence, positive and significant, between the affectionate attitude of civics teacher towards student behavior and learning outcomes of SMA Perintis 2 Bandar Lampung academic year in 2011 and 2012. It means that teachers' love can improve the quality of character and achievement student learning in school. Thank you very much. So far, uh, is there any question from my presentation?
Miss, may I ask you a question?
Sure, of course.
Okay, so my question is, why the researchers of this journal use high school students as their samples? Why not use junior high school students or maybe college students? Why they use high school students? Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, it was a very good question, very great question. Thank you, Alvina. Let me
My
answer your question. Why this is use student of high school, of senior high school, I mean, not junior high school or maybe elementary school or the other, because a student in high school is a gold step, that they very need us or need love and affection from teachers to shape their character. So if they are have a good character where when they are in high school, we can conclude that they are have a bright future. Do you see what I mean? I mean that if student in high school uh, can choose a right way, or maybe they are have a good character and good perspective, they will have a bright future and guaranteed future. Is that answer your question?
Yes, Miss. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm sorry if I uh there are many wrong words. Maybe any question more?
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes, Debbie.
Can I ask you something?
Of course, with pleasure.
Okay. What is the method used in this research, and how many question on questionnaire that used in this research? Yes.
Okay. So your
Thank
question is,
you.
you're welcome. So your question is, um, what method that
Hello.
I do, what method that they do in this research, and how many questions that in that questionnaire? Is that your question? Okay.
Sorry, Miss.
Yes.
Is can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
So your question is, what method that they do in this research, and how many questions in that questionnaire, isn't it?
Maybe she has some problems with the internet, Miss.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Debbie, for your question. It's a great question. Let me answer your question. This research is used. This is nah. This research is used questionnaire, attitude skills, and tests. So there is questionnaire with five question is that is about love and affection to the teachers, to the student. I'm sorry, and attitude skills. Uh, in this method is use observe. So the researcher is observe the attitude of the student in SMA 2 Perintis in Bandar Lampung, especially for the 8 student as the sample. And then the test. The test is final test. So after that, they are conclude that as the conclusion. So there is result as you see. Is that answer your question?
Yes, Miss. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So just it. Just it for my presentation. I would like to say thank you very much to your attending, and I'm so sorry if I have so many mistakes and wrong words in this presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you so much, Miss.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you so
warahmatullahi
much
wabarakatuh.
too.
Thank you, Miss.